Hola, gentlemen. Welcome back to a rewatch of Black Forest. Um, I tried to do a rewatch earlier during my short lunch break because I came back to the dorm, but the game was being really weird. Turns out if your internet is toggling, the game does not like rewatches when the internet is toggling. So, fun fact. Um, so I actually had to shut off my internet completely just to record this video, and then hopefully my internet becomes stable later that I can actually upload it and it doesn't take like 8 hours. Um, anyways, I'm going to start this rewatch with a little nugget of wisdom that I heard. I don't know, maybe I'll make this a thing, like quote of the day type stuff. Anyways, if you raise your children, you can spoil your grandchildren. If you spoil your children, then you're going to end up raising your grandchildren. It's pretty profound. Kind of blew my mind for a second. Anyways, without further ado, let's get started. So, we got a Black Forest map. I am... What are the teams? Based on walling, I'm going to assume it's cut this way. All right, so we're going to start down here. So red, I'm assuming this is Jono. This is Jono. Jono as the token Spanish. Then you have orange, which is starting to become Spencer's favorite color, as the Khmer. That is a new one for Spencer. I don't think I've ever seen him go Khmer. I'm excited to see it. We have Tanner as the Goths. He has not done Goths in a very long time. Spencer just spanked me with the Goths last game. Got a sour taste in my mouth. Still salty about it. So we'll see how that goes. And then blue, this has got to be Larry. Yep, as the Rootin' Tootins. Oh, dang it. My game is still freezing. Maybe it's not an internet thing. Maybe it's just this file. Tanner, did you send me a buggy file of this rewatch? I will not be happy. Anyways, on the other team, we have Jake McKean as the Celts. Ooh, he's going nuclear. Fun times. This must be Taylor. No, this is not Taylor. Someone stole Taylor's color. As the Khmer, light blue Jeff. What a thief. Yellow. This is Barzee. That's fitting. Okay, I can only handle so much change, guys. As the Spanish. This is not Jake. I made that mistake last game. This is Barzee. Keeping tradition. Yellow, Barzee, nice and even stuff. So I got confused last game. And this, throwing me completely off, is Taylor as the Joel color. This is going to screw me up all game. Okay, gotta remember, Joel is not Joel. It's actually Taylor as the Huns. The Huns. Okay, we're going really different this game. Taylor is the Huns. Very dangerous. Not the greatest of walls, but they do have stone walls. The Tarkins do a lot of damage to buildings, so we're going to see how that goes. So we got just under 4 minutes left. Let's look at this. This is very Barzee-like right here. Castle with all the buildings around it. Let's look at walls. Seems like Taylor is probably a good idea because his walls aren't the greatest. He's got double wall here, military wall here. Got Jono wall here, but Jono, that's the only wall, and it is very close to your base. So one hole in that wall could be devastating. Where's the trade? The trade is also right here. I mean, the trade is also here as well, but yeah, there's one very tiny, very close wall between enemy and trade. We'll see how that goes. Let's see, this is not Taylor, this is Jeff. Light blue is Jeff this game. He's got a wall here. And there's no other wall. So again, this is very interesting. One very small wall here. And then there's some military, but then it's open all the way back into the bases. So we'll see how that goes. He's doing the dirty Khmer, all the scorpions. Let's see, we got 2 walls here blocking this entrance. We got Spencer sitting up here with barracks with the Khmer. I did not know Khmer had good infantry, but you know what? I heard from the bro chat yet to be seen that Spencer was a force. So I'm not going to question his decisions. I'll just have to see for myself. But if he wants to do infantry with Khmer, all power to him. So we got a wall here. Jake's got some pretty heavy walls over here from what it looks like. He's doing a double layer, probably a very smart idea. Jake's going to want to hold. Oh, we got 17 minutes until tree drop. Okay, so let's go. Let's see. Oh, Jake's ready to go. He's ready to partay. All right, let's see. Tree drop is over. Jake is starting to go at it. Let's look at walls down here. I don't see anybody. Looks like Jeff is just trying to hold up that. He doesn't want to really fight in that lane too much. He's got more buildings. He's sending troops down here. Let's look down here. Oh, okay. Taylor strikes first blood. He is not building Tarkans. He is going all siege. Okay, siege and cavalry archers. Very cheap cavalry archers. Probably a good thing against Halbs. You know, Tanner's sending a bunch of Halbs. I think he's just trying to save John a little bit, give him a little bit of time to build. So he's going all out. But again, that was the only wall. So Taylor is now through. He's got siege, he's got trebuchets, he's sending just a few cavalry archers snuck through. I think they're just going to be scouting, looking for that trade. But that is a swarm of Halbs, you know, Goths, the ants. So we'll see what happens. Are they all going to get bottle gapped here? Or are they just trying to bottle gap to stop the flow? Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Let me go to military. So we got there. I don't see anything happening here. Let's go over here. Nothing's happening here. Oh, a lot's happening over here. Okay, so walls have come down on both sides. But it looks like the ones Larry deleted his, and Jake's got destroyed. So we have Spencer with elephants. We have Larry with a bunch of paladins. They are swarming into Jake's military buildings. Slowly kind of starting to take those out. That's not great. Jake's whole thing is siege, but all of his workshops are getting pummeled early, so we can't really mass them. I do give him props for trying to defend very well. It's a good thing he did double wall, or man, they would have been in so quick. So props to Jake on that. Well, actually, all this is open with trade, so they could actually just... What are these markets doing here? That's an interesting decision. I think as soon as Larry kind of comes this way a little bit and finds it, I mean, trade is here. Are there markets here as well? Why are there carts up here? Anyways, that's very interesting. Okay, let's go back down here real quick. All right, so we have Taylor and Barzee has come to play, but Taylor's sending a bunch of trash, a bunch of skirmishers to try and deal with these, all this infantry. So he's also building some paladins. Let's see, nothing really happening here. I don't see anything trying to happen here. I think they're trying to have one area of battling. Wow, Larry and Spencer are going nuts. I was curious to see if Spencer was going to build any infantry out of these, but it doesn't look like it. Looks like he's sticking with the elephants. Probably a solid choice with the Khmer. No scorpions, just a ton of elephants, which is probably good because Larry's got a lot of siege anyway. So, all right, so they're almost through. Technically, they're already through because this is all open, so they could just swarm right there. Oh, there's a hole right here too. I wonder what that is for, or why that happened. I wonder if that was just deleted. All right, yeah, but they're swarming. Taylor's got a lot of siege. He's got trebuchets. He's got bombard cannons. He's got backup from Spencer. It looks like technically they were through, but Jake's really good at defensive walling, so he plugged that hole really quick. Let's go back down here. They're not broken through here. It looks like Tanner is slowly advancing. He kind of pushed it a little bit, but it doesn't seem like it's doing much. Taylor's got the mass. You know, once you get mass archers of any kind, the Goths they kind of start to fall a little bit. I'm surprised he's not building Huskarls against this combo. Maybe he's just trying to conserve some gold. Maybe he's trying to send gold somewhere else. Because I do not see the cavalry. Oh, Barzee. Dirty dog. Barzee has won a lot of recent games recently from doing sneaky cuts. So we're going to see what this leads to. Barzee's getting ready to do some weird cut into the middle? I don't know where he's going, but maybe he's just exploring. But Taylor is massing big time. Going back up here. Okay, so... Alright, Spencer's got some ballista elephants. He's coming. There's some weird trade cards over here. I don't know where these came from, where they were going. Maybe they were stuck. Alright, Jake's military production has just been devastated. I wonder, is he building somewhere else? Maybe? I don't see any other military buildings right now. Jeff is doing his best to try and hold him at bay, but he is fighting basically a 2v1 against Spencer and Taylor right now. Yeah, this is not going great up here in the north. Let's see, Jake. I mean, Jake still has all of his. He still has resources coming in. I guess trade is right there. There's several of these carts here that are just chilling. Yeah, I don't see Jake sending any more military units. I mean, he's trying. Not Taylor, but Jeff. Jeff is starting to push a little bit. I think Taylor still, or sorry, Larry is still just trying to break through, which he has. There, elephants through. Spencer is through. Larry punched the hole, and Spencer's pulling back now. He does not want to go through the hole. He wants to... Okay, he doesn't want to go through the hole. Make up your mind, Spencer. Yeah, okay, so he's through. He got some elephants through. He's going into Jake right now. Jake is starting to build military in his base to try and stem the flow. Let's go down here. Jono has finally showed up. He has showed up to help Tanner. Alright, so we have... Yeah, that's a lot of scorpions. It's a lot of archers, which... Jono's building the right units. Tanner could throw some Huskarls, though. I feel like that was just such a hard counter for all this. Alright, so they're slowly starting to push up, which is good. Let's check on Barzee. Barzee has now cut into the middle, found this little space. He's going to probably build his own little base, but he's ready to go. He's like, hey, you guys hold, I got this. He has now, maybe one more cut before it becomes official. No, he's trying to do houses. He is now cutting into the trade. This is the base between, looks like between Jono and Tanner, and he is basically coming in uncontested. He has free range. Oh my gosh, that's going to be devastating. Oh my goodness, is that game? I don't know if that's game because Spencer and Larry are pretty deep into Jake. But that's a side, like they could wall this off. This is like in the middle. That is devastating for their trade. It doesn't seem like they have too much trade going on though over here. So I'm wondering where they're getting any gold, if they're getting any gold. Alright, so Tanner and Jono are still kind of starting to push up onto Taylor. Barzee is just flooding in with troops. He's got a lot of paladins. Now Tanner's halves are gonna, hopefully do some work. Barzee's trying to sneak in some villagers to maybe castle drop. But yeah, Barzee just has like free access in. It looks like, okay, so now Spencer's using these barracks. He's going to try and help clear out Barzee while still trying to advance on the front with Larry. Larry's castle dropping into Jake. His elephants are going crazy. Jeff is spamming a whole bunch of howls and scorpions, trying to see what he can do. Jake is just... Oh, Jake is taking it all. I wonder if Jake snuck some villagers anywhere to see if he can rebuild. I don't really see green anywhere. Yeah, so Spencer's flooding troops down. They are all over his base. Barzee, you monster. Taylor has now also pivoted, sending troops, Tarkans, through regular Tarkans, not upgraded Tarkans, elite Tarkans. So hopefully we can get those upgraded here soon. Through. Did they abandon this hole? No, they haven't quite abandoned it, but here comes Jono. So they've pushed through. They've made some pretty big strides, him and Tanner. But they've had to pivot because of Barzee. Otherwise, they were pushing pretty hard. Yeah, Taylor is... He's just sending a whole bunch... He's sending all of his cavalry through the hole with Barzee. And he's trying to send a bunch of archers and infantry to deal with Jono. They're pretty close to getting in. I mean, they got some castles here, but this is a very weak wall. It wouldn't take much to break through. But it looks like they're not going to try and do that. I don't know why Tanner's trying to mess with these. I mean, he did open up a hole here into Barzee, so we'll see what happens with that. Let's see, Tanner is swarming all over Barzee. So is Spencer. It looks like Barzee has been kicked out. Wow, that was pretty effective. They did a really good job responding to that. Probably lost some pressure here, but now they're going right back at it. Let's see, Barzee is trying to regroup and re-go. Let's check back up here. The devastation, that is Jake. Jake's basically been wiped out. Well, he's got a few town centers here. I wonder if he'll stay unnoticed and see if he can build a little bit there. Larry's sending to knights, paladins. Oh, it's bad. Jake is... he's been hurt really bad. Spencer's still sending troops with Larry. Jeff is trying to do his best to do damage control. This is still walled off. Alright, so now Tanner is starting to advance on Barzee. So Tanner is letting Jono push up against Taylor, trying to fight that battle. And Tanner is trying to fight Barzee. Got a little bit of Larry here. I think Spencer is going to try and rebuild a little bit, but all of his troops are kind of just staying here. They still have trade. Barzee did a number on it, but they still got trade. I am wondering, where are all... Okay, so this trade is all coming into Jeff's base, because they can't really go into Jake's non-existent base at this point. Actually, I have to pause real quick. Sorry about that, everybody. Actually, is this recording? Yes, it is. I meant to pause the recording, but I ended up stopping it and it saved, so I had to make a new recording, and then there was a little bit of lag, and then I want to rerun. It was a big old story. I probably missed a couple things, but let's go through it real quick. Okay, so anyways, Taylor's trying to hold off the invasion of Larry and Spencer. Spencer looks like he has pivoted quite a bit. Where is Spencer pivoting all these troops here? I don't know. Maybe he's still pivoting up. Oh no, there's a wall right here. Okay, so Spencer is still going up with Larry. Tanner is trying to defend Barzee still. All right, let's check on Jono. Actually, Tanner's doing both. So Tanner is sending troops with Jono, but it looks like Taylor is really starting to advance forward. Looks like Jono was trying to go. He has a castle here. Yeah, but Taylor's just giving Jono a run for his money. He's destroying the few buildings that he has. Over here, Tanner's trying to split his forces, but it's hard to help Jono hold back Taylor and hold back Barzee. Those are two really strong players, so they're kind of falling by the wayside. I wonder if they're going to get any help from Spencer. Oh, look at there. Speak of the devil. Spencer is coming to try and help. Barzee is through, though. He's trying to hit that trade again. Spencer is still trying to recover from the last Barzee raid. He's sending some villagers on there to help. Alright, Larry has basically taken over Jake's base. He is building multiple things in Jake's base. I still don't know if they've noticed Jake here in the back. What would be really funny is if he had just enough space to have one siege workshop and just started slowly accumulating, without them seeing, and just cut all the way over here into Larry. That would be hilarious. Yeah, this looks like the only remnant of Jake, so I think he's just gonna try and, I don't know, do something, because I don't think Taylor has, or I don't think Lars has really noticed him yet. Alright, so going back down to here, because look, Spencer and Larry are still trying over here, Jeff's trying to defend him off. The real action is down here. Tanner's building up castles in the trade to try and stem off Barzee. Barzee's just everywhere. He's got massed hand cannoneers, which is very, very dangerous against the Goths. And even Spencer's also sending down infantry, so all these hand cannoneers, that's going to be bad news very soon here. So you got John, got a bunch of idle villagers down here. Taylor's still doing a lot of work. He's got siege. He's trying to send some skirmishers, so it looks like maybe kind of out of gold. I mean, he's building paladins, so they're not completely out of gold. it could just be that that's the only buildings he's got left. Yeah, so Taylor's advancing. Barzee is doing some serious work. Spencer's trying to send some elephants. This is no bueno. Oh my gosh, this tide is totally turning with that Barzee cut now. Jeff is just, at this point, just trying to hold off Larry and Spencer, hoping that if he can hold them off, then, you know, eventually Barzee can win out. We'll see if Barzee can win off on the 2v1 with Tanner and Spencer sending infantry. It looks like they're slowly starting to push him out. I don't see that Barzee really has people ingrained really far deep, but it looks like they are starting to push back Barzee. Now, the bigger question now is, can Jono kind of hold off against Taylor as well? And how quick can Lars and Spencer win against Jeff, if at all? So, we'll see. Jake's still over here. He's still trying. Slowly, basically from scratch, he is trying to come back alive. This is all technically open, that they could, Barzee technically could pivot down, but if Barzee lets off the pressure for 1 second, this is going to be lost. It kind of looks like he's losing anyways. I wonder if he should just like wall this off and just full hard pivot down to try and see if he can take out Jono. But yeah, because Jono is starting to inch forward. Looks like Tanner is still sending help his way, which is really saving his bacon. Let's go back up here. Jeff is really taking it to Lars and Spencer up here. Jeff is starting to move forward. He is reclaiming Jake's base for him, slowly but surely. But Lars has got a lot. He's got 4 castles. He's got military buildings in it. Lars is slowly sending troops up there. It looks like, is he only building from these? No, he's got castles. Maybe? I think Lars probably needs to build a couple more buildings, just to get some mass troops a little bit quicker. But anyways, okay, so let's look down here. So Spencer is working his way up. Spencer is he is saving grace down here. Tanner's got a couple of troops here, but other than that, he's letting Spencer just hold off Barzee while he and Jono are trying to tag team Taylor over here. I'm surprised this castle didn't come down earlier, considering it was just 1 hit, but it looks like I'll take Jono may try and finish it. We'll see what happens. I'm surprised these villagers haven't been targeted. Let's go back over here. Yeah, these scorpions and these ballista elephants, when they get massed, it's deadly. And it looks like Barzee's really only sending infantry. I don't really see him sending anything else but infantry and some siege. But so we'll see how that goes. Larry's still trying to send some troops up here. Jeff's, I mean, he's got the right units. He's got a whole bunch of Haubs. He's got scorpions. Oh, I didn't realize that Jake is right here. So he did sneak some villagers through. I don't know where these guys were hiding. Oh, Jake, my bad. I didn't realize that you had built over here. Okay, so Jake is trying to rebuild in several places. So we had a base over here in Jeff. He's got some siege workshops that hopefully he starts building some deadly force over there. Yeah, he's just slowly building up behind here. I don't think Lars even realized. Lars is starting to build more castles, trying to keep Jake's base out of Jeff's hands, and from Jake from rebuilding into it. Man, this thing can really go either way. I'm going to fast forward on this. This just keeps going back and forth. All right, so let's see. Checking back down here, Jono and Tanner are really pushing on Tanner. I'm sorry, on Taylor. I do not see any help from Barzee right now, so this is a straight up 2v1 at the moment. Spencer is... Ooh, but now Spencer's having to 2v1 because now Jeff has shown up a little bit with his... He's sending some scorpions down here with Barzee, and now looks like they're starting to push a little bit. We'll see how far that goes. Going back over here, let's see if Jeff can do a 2v1 because now Larry... or he can fight in 2 places, because now Larry has now started to come. He's massed some paladins. Here he comes. Jeff is over here with some scorpions, but man, that horde of paladins is too much. So he wipes out those scorpions pretty easily. Those halves are not going to last too long, but he's trying his best. Barzee's got some buildings out of here. I wonder if he's going to help. All right, so Lars is starting to make some strides. Let's see, Jake is over here. He's still just trying to rebuild. But I think Jake's all of his buildings are gone, so we can't really build anywhere unless maybe he builds from behind and maybe mass some troops. But that's a lot of castles, a lot of Teutonic Knights, a lot of paladins over here. All right, so Larry's doing some work. Let's see, Barzee's now advancing. He is hard advancing. All right, so Tanner's having to pivot away from Taylor. So Tanner's starting to give Spencer some help, trying to just hold back Barzee and let Larry do his thing. Jono has really so Jono and Tanner really advanced onto Taylor, and then Tanner had to pivot to go help Spencer. But now Jono has got momentum, and when Jono gets momentum, it's deadly. So Jono is into Taylor finally. He's doing some work. He's pulling some troops back. I think he's going to go see if he can find some trade. Barzee's trying to take him out, but he's still doing some major work. Man, this is going back and forth forever. Yeah, Taylor's just trying his darndest. Tanner has now turned the tide with Spencer. It just seems wherever there's a 2v1, that's just where it's going to advance. So they're deciding to advance up the Barzee cut, and there Taylor goes. Once Taylor went, it was over. So actually, let's return to map real quick. I'm assuming it's because Lars got in. Okay, so Larry has now started to advance onto Jeff. Jake is still basically dead. Did he start to build over here? He's got a ton of villagers. He probably was just like, hey guys, I'm going to go eco. I'm going to supply you guys with the necessary resources. He probably was supplying Jeff with all the scorpions. Just like, hey, I got your wood. Jake was giving Jeff all of his wood. Oh, so he does have one building here. But anyways, once Larry broke in, Jake is basically out, just supplying eco. But once Larry broke into, Jeff, I think between that and Jono really putting some pressure and breaking into Taylor, I think it was just too much. So, right, guys, we're done. They probably were really low on gold because this is a very short distance to trade, whereas the other team, and they have a really long trade. Yeah, they were starting to push everywhere. So, man, that game went back and forth. I thought it was done once Larry and Spencer got into Jake, and then I was like, oh man, they're going to pivot. Barzee got in. I thought that was going to be devastating. I thought it was going to be done. For a while there, I thought Jono was going to be done. Tanner was really good. Tanner and Spencer were amazing teammates. They pivoted wherever they were needed most. Yeah, that was crazy. Very, very good teamwork. Jake being taken out early was very pivotal. I think if this got to the late game, Jake would have been much more devastating. Yeah, let's look at the stats real quick. Total score goes to Jeff. I gotta say, yeah, Jeff. I mean, he was fighting 2 battles in 2 different places for a while. He was he was sometimes winning the 2v1 against Spencer and Larry, but at the very minimum, he was holding him back. I mean, Jeff was playing out of his mind on that one. Eco goes to Larry. Technology goes to Jake. Society goes to Tanner. Total score goes to Jeff with that massive military score. Most units killed actually goes to Barzee. That positive KDA is 16, almost 1,700. That's pretty good. Jeff's KDA was actually even. Jake lost the most. Let's look at this. Tanner's KDA is actually pretty good for the Goths. Usually it's pretty bad. It's like a 1-to-4 ratio, but I mean, he killed a lot and managed to keep it under a 1-to-2 ratio, that is winning as the Goths right there. Jono had a pretty good KDA. Larry had a pretty good KDA. Spencer had a pretty good KDA. So, I mean, yeah, that team all was pretty good. I think Taylor, if he didn't go the Huns, might have had a better troop mix. Sometimes he was really pushing though, so I like going to question that. I kind of want to use the Huns on a map that's not Michi, where I absolutely need walls. So I was curious to see how that was going to go. Tanner was the best fed, obviously because, Goths need a lot. Larry had the most wood. Jeff was the most stoned. Larry was the Sultan in both gold and trade profit, which makes sense. Let's see, this must be received. So Jono received the most, which probably makes sense because he was getting cut into very, very early. And Barzee sent the most. I'm surprised Jake didn't send the most because he was just a bunch of wood. Jake received the most. I mean, that would make sense because he got cut in too early, so he could only do so much. He was needing a lot of help. Spencer sent a lot and received a lot. So there's a lot of trading resources going around. So it's cool to see a lot of teamwork. Larry with the feudal, Jeff with the castle, Taylor with the Imperial Society. Wow, I'm surprised Tanner had the most castles. I thought for sure it was going to be Larry because he had a whole bunch. But Jeff had a bunch, Larry had a bunch, but Tanner takes the castle crown. Relics go to Barzee, same with the gold. Largest army goes to Spencer, which almost always seems to be the case. He has or I'm sorry, not largest army. Villager high. Spencer always has a ton of villagers. It's good to see. All right, good game, guys. I'm gonna have to splice this video with the other one to make one of them. So good game. I'll get the Michi one going here soon.